This is a Headgum podcast.
Good afternoon, listeners and viewers. As you can see, something is different about this.
Something seems different. We're in the studio.
I got a haircut, but it's under the hat.
I see you got your camo pants on, ready to go to war.
I'm going hunting after this.
I got my pink shorts ready to go hunting as well.
Yeah, pink shorts surprisingly blend into nature.
Yeah, when I'm hunting for starbursts.
Hunting for starbursts, and I'm hunting for wabbits. Now, we got a very special guest in the house. Before we get into our necessary rigmarole, you see we got these headphones on because we are being joined live via satellite.
Yeah.
From our nation's capital, New York City.
She looks like the head of the CIA.
By none other than, you know her from being the host of Fake the Nation right here on Headgum. Lamar, did you know that Fake the Nation was a Headgum podcast?
Yes, I did.
Did you know it was a Headgum podcast?
I heard they be doing Succession recaps, which I got lots to talk about.
Succession recaps coming up. I won't be listening to those episodes because I don't watch the show. But I maybe I should start watching the show.
I mean, you're missing out. Yeah, I mean, it's a great show.
I'm missing out?
I think so. I think you would like it. If you like Gossip Girl, you'll like this show because I feel like this show is the OG Succession. Without this show, there would be no Succession.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. It's weird with the headphones on. You think so?
Yeah. You agree with me?
We're going to get into our guest and see. Also, you know her from Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR.
Yeah. NPR. Which records out of Chicago.
Records out of Chicago.
I'm coming in hard with that public radio credibility.
Yeah.
Public radio.
I love public. I got a dope ass T-shirt that says NPR on it, and I love it. I love wearing it.
I got a mug. I once did a show called what's the storytelling show called on NPR?
Oh yeah, what's that called?
I did that show.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
one. Yes, Moth.
Yeah. It's like
not the Moth.
It's like Situations.
It's
no.
something
Risk.
else.
Yeah.
It wasn't Risk. Shelly said it was what I
Trouble.
thought your friend booked me on.
It was Monopoly.
But she didn't. Bethy Squires. I thought that's how I knew her. It was for a festival, a comedy festival.
All things
I know it too
considered.
because I listen to this all the time. My brain.
It wasn't all
broke
things
out.
considered.
Oh yeah, no.
It wasn't that. It was
No, that's like
Damn it, I
a
can't
news
think
It
of
was
show.
like Left, Right, and Center.
Left, Right, and Center.
What do you think? Well, let's we can keep going.
Oh
keep
yeah,
going with
yeah.
the
The intro is still going.
Because I got
on.
questions.
We do a long intro, and the intro ends now because we're gonna tell you who it is. Gossip Royalty, give a big bell ring to our special guest, Negin Farsad.
Yeah.
Hey, oh
What's
my
up?
gosh, the bells. I love it. I feel so special.
Negin,
Yes.
don't nobody make us wear headphones, okay? We refuse
I
to.
don't know. This is bananas, man. Rochelle yelling at us before you came on. She's like, "You guys got to put your headphones on."
Rochelle took
Why?
her belt off.
Why?
And said, listen,
Why?
Listen, don't make me tell you.
Man, you
again.
got to come to LA. So the reason you're not in here is because you're in New York.
That's right.
Right?
I am aware Gossip Girl is a thing, and where Succession is a thing, I am there. I'm with the billionaires.
Yeah. with
I'm
all the-
actually potting from a private jet. So
That's tight.
with the
Where are you
fat
from
cats.
originally? Are you from New York?
Here's what's crazy. I am originally from Palm Springs, California.
Of course, and
Really?
of course, instead of
Via Iran, whatever. Obviously, like the children of immigrants, but
Yeah.
Palm Springs is where I grew up.
Cool. I never met anyone who grew up in Palm Springs. Like you went to high school there?
Because I was
What
at
was that
Palm
like?
Springs High School. It was
home of the Indians.
That's right, home of the Indians. I think we may have changed the mascot recently, but
Did they
but we it was
it hot?
it's interesting.
It was a hot high
It was
school.
an outside high school, which
Did
a
y'all
lot
have
of
a pool?
people. There was a swim team. Yeah, there was a pool. We
Cool.
it was an outside high school, so like I had the whole thing with like lockers outside. The thing with Beverly Hills 90210, a show that you're not doing, that was, I mean, my high school wasn't fancy. It didn't have those people in it, but that was the vibe.
Right.
Everything was outside, and so people find that very bizarre. Like when I in New York, that they don't understand an outside high school, but that's what I did.
I went to high school here in Los Angeles, and I mean, of course, the whole school wasn't outside. But when we had nutrition and lunch, it was outside.
Really?
Y'all didn't hang out outside at like nutrition lunch. Y'all had to
we
sit
had
at
it
like
inside. It was like a real old school, like inside brick cafeteria. We ain't never go outside.
and they all had like the tables that we had
Yeah.
sections. And what's crazy is sometimes we would kick it inside. But
Right.
my senior year we moved to the outside.
Because I feel like every time I watch shows about California high school, they're always eating lunch outside.
Yeah,
I used
no,
to
that's
always
how
think
we-
it was so weird. I'd be like, what? It's like they live. It looked like college. It felt like they were at college.
It feels like that. And we had salads too, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have not had one
you
salad
ate
in high school.
salads? I know. I can't. I honestly don't believe I ate a salad until I was like 25 years old. I
Yeah.
didn't experience
Yeah.
a salad. I also
And then you
never. I
stopped
did
after.
not experience. Also, drinking water. Like I didn't drink water until I was about 25 years old.
Yeah, water.
Which
Yeah,
is
we were talking about the other day. Like water is like now it's like my favorite thing to do. But back in the day, it just wasn't on the mind.
It was not. It was not on my radar. It wasn't something people were doing. People didn't talk about it. Like it was just.
Well, there's
the
so many
unsung
waters
hero.
now. You got sparkling, tap. All right, let me ask, when you go out on a dinner, do you get the sparkling or the tap water or the bottled water?
I mean,
I
it's
feel like
sort
it's
of.
always hard
I
to
feel like if
pick.
I'm trying to be luxurious, I'll do a sparkling water.
Yeah,
But
I feel
you know
like
what I mean?
the luxury now is like this. I feel like sparkling's gotten so played out that the flex now is to get tap water.
Right.
I
It's
disagree.
like what's that called? It's like quiet. That trend of quiet luxury where you wear
Yeah.
your clothing doesn't have a lot of like logos.
Oh,
and stuff
somebody's
on
been
it.
watching Succession.
Ah,
All about
absolutely.
that.
Now, Negin, I got to ask,
Please.
as a pseudo native of Southern California,
Yeah.
SoCal as some people call it, what makes you say, I'm graduating from Palm Springs High School, instead of coming an hour and 30 minutes down the road to LA to pursue my dreams, I'm going to move to the dirtiest city in America?
Oh my God! Shots
Well,
fired.
Oh, I
Carl's
talk
about to
shit.
get
I talk
canceled.
shit on this show.
He's gonna get us New York canceled in the New
I
York minute.
know.
This is talk. Cancel me, New York. I ain't never coming back.
I mean, the thing is like there's this thing that
You're
happens.
never gonna come back to New York.
Well,
What'd you
you're
say?
not, and you're no longer welcome, for the record.
Yeah, I ain't coming. I don't need to be welcome.
We have to go to New York next week.
I love I mean I moved to I went to college in upstate New York, and then everyone I graduated with was just like going to New York City. I did a little segue into Paris, and I lived there for a little bit.
Cool.
And that was amazing. And I really flirted with the idea of just being like a permanent French expat person,
Yeah.
but it just like wasn't, ultimately felt like not realistic, and like that it's gonna like miss,
Did you always know you want to do comedy?
No. I mean, I actually, have a dual master's degree in public policy and African American studies, and I was a policy
Get
advisor for
out
the
of
city
here.
of New
I know
York.
about that African American shit too.
I know a little bit about African American stuff.
Through
myself.
different means. I would
who's
say.
who's George Washington Carver? Who that?
And then I was going to, like, that was my whole goal, is that I was going to be in public policy, like working on issues related to like marginalized groups or whatever through policy. And I was and I worked for the city of New York, and but I was always doing comedy at night.
Yeah.
Like I was always doing it, even in high school and college. Like I was always doing comedy, and so I think it was just a matter of like me accepting myself. My friends staged an intervention, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Snap out of it! You want to be a comedian?" And I was
yeah.
like, "It's
They're
so
like, "Stop helping minorities."
narcissistic." I know.
I love when I
that's
meet
what
comedians
happened.
who have a background like that, or like a background that's so different from. I
Yeah.
feel like it makes the comedy so much more interesting.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but it's either way, the comedy then ensued from that. So so the thing that I was going to say was that, like, when you live in New York City, so I had always thought like, oh, I'm gonna just be in New York for a minute. I'm gonna go do these graduate degrees, and then I'm gonna move back to California, and I'm gonna like work in my district, and ultimately I'm gonna run for office in my district. And I had all of these designs, right?
Yeah.
But then the comedy pool was too hard, and then after a few years, New York City does this thing to you where you're like, you go to like other, like you'll go to Cleveland or something, and you'll be like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Why aren't there 3 Ethiopian restaurants within a 10-block radius of where I'm standing? Why aren't there? You know? And so you start having like crazy expectations of like what a city is, and there's only one place in America that looks like that, and there's more of those in Europe because European cities are more densely populated. But in America, like if you want that kind of experience, I mean, you're really looking at New York, maybe throw in a little Chicago, a little DC, a little Boston, but there's not very many options for that like kind of city density walking. I don't ever drive. I love not driving. So that's the stuff that happened to me.
Well, there's the case for New York.
Yeah, I disagree with everything you say, Negin. I go to there's Ethiopian restaurants all up and down Fairfax Avenue.
Yeah, there's one right by my old house. Yeah.
You've been to them again. You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, LA has a lot, and I wish I was as close to my parents as you are.
Oh yeah. I am. My mom is here. I don't see her as often as I probably should, but listen. I'm gonna let you live. I'm gonna let you live in New York.
Thank you.
You say you're
because also there's no Gossip Girl without New York.
That's true. Upper East Side. Where in New York do you live?
I live in the East Village in Manhattan.
Okay, so not too far from the Upper East Side.
Different vibe.
What is your relationship with Gossip Girl? Do you watch that show? Did you watch it growing up?
So I watched it when I think I watched maybe the first season or the first couple of seasons when it came out. Like it was such a thing and everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I would say that it it wasn't. It showed this. I think there's also around that time was Sex and the City, right? I think maybe
so,
overlapping with Gossip Girl a little bit.
Yeah. It's like a Venn diagram.
And there was like these, so it kind of painted a picture of New York that was like horrible, but also fantastic. And, so stylish and cool, but also like evil and manipulative. And so I thought it was fascinating, but I have this like very different view of it now as a parent. Because now I have a 4-year-old, so I'm many years away from the Gossip Girl initial high school demographic. Because what year are they? They're like juniors or something when they start?
Yeah, I think
when they started, they were juniors in high school,
something like that.
So like at that, to me, like everything they said just sounded like aliens. Like I couldn't, the school, the whatever. But now that I've lived in New York for so long, and I dated a man who taught at the school that Gossip Girl was based on.
Oh, at Constance? Or it was called something else? Or what was it called?
I think or I don't know if it was based on one school or if it was based on a collection of those schools, but one of them I think is called Nightingale. And it's a very
that sounds
fancy,
like the Constance. I would change if I was a writer. I'd be like, we're gonna call it Constance, but
yeah. And very fancy. And this guy, he would tell me just like about the wealth on display at these schools and the kind of students that were in there. And he was just like, like there are some kids like, I mean, they're a lot of them are nice and they're not strategizing global dominance or whatever.
Right.
But just in terms of like wealth, that's definitely what's happening.
Yeah, that's wow. That's why they're all crazy in our
You gotta let your daughter go to a public school, PS 175.
Yeah.
Hey, Arnold. You gotta let your daughter go to Hey Arnold.
Okay, so we do this thing called Spotted. Who got Spotteds up in here?
I have a couple user Spotteds. We
Okay.
got a couple today.
Yeah, I got
From the
mad
homies.
Spotteds. Or mad user Spotteds.
But first, Negin, do you have a Spotted? Have you seen somebody out in the wild recently that they weren't supposed to be there? Now, so the rules to Spotted are:
Okay.
you have to have seen a person in a place where they wouldn't particularly be. So, like, if you went to the Oprah show and saw Gayle, that's not a Spotted.
Right.
I don't know why that was the example I used, but it was. If you went to the grocery store, I think the grocery store in New York is called Gristedes. If you in Gristedes, and you see Joe Pesci, that's a spotted.
That's
a
spotted because
right.
Joe Pesci be at Vons all the time.
Right.
Not a.
Right.
Do you
got one
have
of
a
those?
spotted?
You seen anybody recently? It don't have to.
It also doesn't have to be a celebrity. It could be
Oh,
somebody you knew. It could be that guy you just told us about. You dated that taught that Constance.
You know what? I will give you a spotted about him because he was older than me at the time, and he really desperately wanted to have children. And so we were like dating for a few months when he was like, "Hey, so children? Yes, no, what? Let's do this. I'm 45." And I was like, "Whoa, like you gotta slow down." And then we ended up breaking up. I mean, we were together maybe like 7 or 8 months. We ended up breaking up, and then some months later, I weirdly saw a poster of him holding a baby. I think it was his baby.
Poster.
He was like rather good looking, a good looking black man. And he was also
right,
kind of
Negin.
like
Yeah,
I
Big
know.
Game, what's going
Yeah,
on,
so-
baby?
yeah,
How
so-
you doing? You know what I'm saying? I ain't know. I got bells ringing. What's
I didn't know
happening?
you was a chocolatier. Negin.
And I married a black man. But I saw a poster of him. He was holding a baby. And I think he ended up getting, this is a crazy theory, I don't know, but he was promoting like the New York health system because he also fancied himself sort of like a part-time model.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's I was missing that link. I was like, why is he
He
on a
fancied
poster
himself a
with
part-time
baby?
model. He was quite good looking, and he was like on a poster, but it was like for a New York City service, right? It was
Right,
like
right.
New York City Family Health or whatever, and it was him holding a baby, and like.
You
It
think
could
it
have
was
not
his?
been
You don't
him
know.
because it was like his face was like more obscured by the baby's face, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was him. And
That's
I
a hell
was,
of a spotted.
Yeah, that's a great spotted. Yeah, love
I thought that
spotted.
was wild. It felt very.
Yeah.
It felt. I mean, and it was one of those relationships. It was like the breakup was very easy. Like I was not that committed to this situation. So so to
Real
see
easy
him
breakup.
felt funny. It didn't feel like painful or anything.
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
was just like, oh, hilarious. That guy's on a poster now.
So that makes begs a question. So I keep getting these texts because I'm not sure this is a spotted, but people keep texting me when they see my name. Like, let's say they go to Austin and they're going to like Lamar. There's like a street called Lamar in Austin, and they see it and they text me and they say spotted. But I'm like, I don't think that's a spotted. Do y'all
No,
think that's spotted?
not a spotted.
And then,
It's a
or
street
you
called
still
Lamar.
see it under the billboard because there's a company named Lamar that does billboards.
Oh yeah, the billboards. Yes, of
Yeah,
course, famously.
Yeah, famously, I see them everywhere. But people always text me when they see it, and it's annoying. I'm like, this is not a spotted. Get your step your spotted game
Step your
up.
spotted game
But
up.
that one, that's a great
yeah.
one. Okay, so what's the one we have? So we got
All
a
right,
couple,
so
right?
we had a show. The show went over really well.
Oh, it's
We
super
had
fun.
We had a rap show. We all opened for Smoke Dizza.
I didn't see a lot of gossip royalty in there. I'm not mad. I know I know the Smoke Dizza Gossip Girl fan base doesn't line up all the way, but
There might have been a couple up in there. There
Really?
might have been a
Have
couple.
You saw any? Well, if,
Somebody-
if you were there, if you were at the show, hit me
Hit
up.
us
I just
up.
want to know for my own ego. Just let me know if you came and I didn't get to talk to you.
Show went really well. We moonlight as hip hop artists, Negin. So that's what we was doing. And our buddy Grape Soda Henderson, who we talked about.
Yeah,
quite a
y'all
bit
know
on this
Grape.
show. Y'all have heard
Our
of Grape.
good friend.
Our friend Grape Soda, our good friend Grape Soda. Shout out Grape Soda. He walked up to me immediately. The first thing he said, he lives in Atlanta, and this is the first way he greeted me that night. Like this was like him dapping me up at the beginning of the
Yeah.
night. He goes, "I got a spot it for you."
You know what's crazy? Because I saw him before that at the house, and he was like, Lamar, I got a spotted for y'all. I'm gonna tell Carl though. I was like, what the fuck? You're not gonna tell me?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, tell Carl, whatever.
Well, here's probably why he told me.
Yeah,
So
'cause
he
I don't know. I
spotted
didn't know this guy. Yeah.
Basketball player Al Harrington,
Yeah. So
who has
I don't know
a
who that is.
dispensary, has a brand of marijuana called Viola, and I know that dispensary is, or their grow house or something is in Hollywood because
Oh,
I've
this
seen
guy.
him a few times in Hollywood. Well, that's Al Harrington right there.
Yeah.
So shout out to Grape for spotting Al Harrington.
Yeah.
And also our good buddy Curtis Drove, friend of the show, been on the show before, also performed that night. He sent us a text today that he was at a dispensary that had a lot of old books for some reason. I don't know if the moisture in the room helps the books or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. If,
interesting.
I might be
It
making
helps
all
the
that
weed,
up.
yeah.
But
Keeps the weed intelligent.
on the shelf of old books was the Gossip Girl book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what he said? I didn't look at that.
You didn't look at the picture?
No, I just saw books and I skipped it. I was like, why is he sending books to me? Okay,
yeah.
hold on,
In the middle of that picture is the Gossip Girl book by the Ziegler or the original,
the OG, the one where
Vanessa's bald-headed in.
Yeah. Yo, tell her to send a picture. They got pictures in it, you think? I wonder if that book. They must have pictures. How would she know she's bald-headed?
I think they said it like
she's bald-headed.
She was bald-headed.
They're like, then Vanessa came in. She's bald-headed.
She's bald-headed.
Okay.
Do you have a spotted, Negin, do you have a spotted of somebody that you actually saw in person recently?
Like well, it's funny because I live in the East Village. I would say celebrity land is more like West Village, but we still have some here. So I spot them. I think the weird thing too about being a parent is that some of the other playground parents are celebrities because they have to take their, you know what I mean? So like for a while, Kieran Culkin, star of Succession, was one of my
really in the mix.
playground dads. You know what I mean? Which is funny because you don't think of any of these, characters on any of these actors on these vaunted shows having regular responsibilities vis-a-vis a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
right.
But that's certainly what happens. I think I'm trying to think if I had an interesting.
Do you have any political spotters?
Oh, a political spotted. I mean, I don't know. It's okay. I'll tell you that I was at a premiere party for this this show that I'm on called Gutsy on Apple TV. It's Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton have a show called Gutsy, and I'm an episode of that show. And it's a phenomenal show. Everyone should check it out. But like we went to the premiere. Obviously, you're going to see some, fancy people at the premiere. For whatever reason, I thought it was funny to see Eric Adams there. But Eric Adams is literally at everything. He liked to party, huh? He loves to party. Eric Adams, bless his heart, he closed the party down. I left before Eric Adams. I'm in the show, and I left before he did. He was just having a time. I mean,
it's like Apple TV, baby. I'm out here. Let me get on live real quick.
But I mean, you will see that man. I mean, he is everywhere. I've I've been a resident of New York City, and I saw De Blasio a couple of times. I saw Bloomberg for that many years a couple of times, right? I have physically seen Eric Adams like 3 times in the last few months. You know what I mean? Just because he's at every event, he really is tirelessly everywhere, and it's
do you like him? Do you like him?
I mean, I probably have some qualms about how he's going through some of the stuff, how he's calling out the Biden administration, whatever. I have some issues probably with all of that stuff, but I think in general, look, the man is tireless. He does care, so you can't deny that, and I think that's really cool. I mean, I also think the idea that he's the nightlife mayor, when he started during the pandemic, we needed that. We needed to see someone go out and reopen this city, and he really did. It's so fun now.
Now I ask you that because last 2 times I went to New York, it was for work, and you know how they hire you a car when you go for work. And my last 2 drivers could not, the old Italian men could not stand.
They didn't like Adam?
Yeah, and I was like, hey, man, at a certain point I had to tell the guy, I was like, listen, man, we can chat and we can talk, but chances are I'm going to disagree with you politically by the way you're talking. And so just keep that shit to yourself. Yeah. I'm not a rude guy. I'm going to chat with you. I wanted one guy I had I'm like, yo, man, show me where you from. You from this area? You from this? And he was having a blast, just showing me right there, Bernadette Peters. You live right there. That was Bernadette Peters' house.
Right over there.
Right over there was where we used to go get cannolis. And he was, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to. And then he starts going into, and then all these fucking kids want abortions, and I'm like, my man.
All right.
No, thank you.
But did he say why he didn't like Eric Adams?
I mean, he was just a Trump dude.
Yeah, I like that cat. I mean, I don't live in New York, so the stakes are lower for me. But every time I see him talk, I'm like, he talks like a regular ass person.
Yeah,
he seems kind of genuine, I guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a drug dealer in the 80s? Wasn't he like?
Oh, that Eric Adams, E-Money?
Wasn't he like in Supreme Team? Like,
Yeah.
like
Really?
he was in that documentary. He was in the Supreme Team documentary.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Wait a minute. Have we already asked Negin what her history is with Gossip Girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about that. So really, I think we should
go to break right now.
Go to break so we
should
can
go to
talk
break.
about this episode because a lot happened.
A lot happened in this damn episode. We finna talk about it. Be right back. And we're black.
And we got Negin here. What's good?
Hey.
Okay, check it out. So this episode,
Panic Room 8.
is it Panic Room? What is it based off? Panic Room?
Yeah.
Right? You seen that?
The
You guys
seen that,
Jodie,
Rochelle?
the Jodie Foster movie?
Yes, the Jodie
Why
Foster.
is it Panic Room
Foster
8 though? I don't
and
get what they're making a play on.
Kristen Stewart as a baby.
Kristen Stewart as a baby?
Well, like
That was her in
12-year-old
there?
Kristen Stewart, yeah.
Oh, because it was like, she was like in middle school.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, yeah.
young.
Oh yeah, but she wasn't like a baby.
Yeah.
There was no babies in Panic
No, there
Room.
was no babies in Panic Room.
That was just the
I
room. The
remember.
room had a baby in it, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so what do we think of this? What do we be calling her? Baby.
Queen.
Boss
I
Baby.
gotta
I'm
call
talking about Boss
Boss
Baby.
Baby. Is that what we
The
call? I
new,
call
the
it.
intern, the one that Blair's trying to get to hook up with. Nate.
Oh, that's Boss Baby.
Boss Baby.
Wait,
What do you
is
think
it?
of her?
Are you talking about what's her name? Epperly?
Yeah, Epperly. That's her name.
I call her Maybelline in this.
Oh yeah,
'Cause it's-
Maybelline. They
Maybelline.
say her name so much in this.
They
episode.
say her name
Epperly.
so
Epperly. We gotta
much.
help Epperly. Epperly.
Epperly.
Where's
Epperly.
Epperly? Nate, have you found Epperly? I'm looking for Epperly. Look,
Epperly.
I think Epperly is an interesting character. I won't say why yet, but we'll get into it. I'm just putting it out there.
Don't do that.
Sorry,
All right.
I can't help it. There's something about this character. Does she look familiar again?
Well,
Like
she's on Succession.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Ah! I knew it. I knew it.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, why
I
does she
wanted
look so familiar. And I'm like, keep thinking, this is crazy. You just blew my mind. You know why this is crazy? Because, like I said before, the Succession would be no Succession without Gossip Girl. And like, I think as a black man, it's like I watch both of those shows with the same energy. Like, white people, rich white people with problems, and that genre is fascinating to me. But I kept seeing Epperly, and I kept being like, she's got important stuff in this show.
Yeah.
But I think this whole time I keep wanting to spoil stuff for Carl because I'm like, this girl is like a big part. But then I'm like, wait. Now I'm thinking maybe I'm just thinking about her character in Succession. Wait, what's her character? Which character is she in
it's so
Succession?
funny. I'm trying to figure out like her character in Succession. She's the one that basically has a weird relationship with Roman. She's like a prostitute that she meets.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the earlier seasons.
In the earlier seasons, yeah, I think she kind of fell off after like season 2. Yeah.
Roman, they need to get Roman. He's like, does he have anybody like a love interest? I don't think so, huh?
Well,
I mean,
this
ever
was
since-
this was his love interest, Roman, for like a season.
Yeah.
And
So
I
this
think-
whole
I
time
think
I've been
that
overlapping those two shows in my brain.
I think they met because Tom
Yeah.
Wamskans was doing his bachelor party, and
Right.
and this woman gave him a blow job.
Oh yeah. And then Tom got one too, right?
Yeah,
From Epperly?
from the same from
Epperly.
Epperly.
So this is why I've been all fucked up. So I don't think she got nothing cool in this show. I thought it was in my mind because it's like the same scene. I mean, the same setting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like both
yeah,
shows
yeah.
are the same setting. So I'm like, that girl, she's important.
Oh my
But
God,
I'm
I
like,
jumped
no,
up
she's just
when I
important
saw
for
her.
Succession. Unless I'm forgetting about something in Gossip Girl, but I think maybe she doesn't even come back. I don't know. But okay, it clears everything up. I was like, man, she looked familiar, but then I thought I was remembering her from Gossip Girl because I watched it already. Carl has not watched Gossip
never
Girl
seen it
at
before.
all. He's watching it in real time, so I like vaguely remember some stuff, but I was like, yeah, I was losing my mind. All right, well, I take everything back I said about Epperly. She's not important. She's not important at all. She's
Epperly.
important to Succession, which is a great show.
DM us if anybody in your family is named Epperly.
That's a wild name.
It's a wild
I
ass
feel
name.
like that has to be a real
I
name
wanna
though because it's so
know.
specific.
Yeah.
I definitely want to know if anyone is named Epperly. And honestly, my first thought, I think you nailed it, Lamar, was like how often they said the name. It was like a writer, someone in the writer's room was just so proud of themselves for like unearthing this name, and they just could not stop the characters.
Yeah, they were
from
going ham in the
consistently-
script, like,
Oh
and
my God, too much.
Okay, so
Linda Epperly used to host Nick News.
Linda Epperly.
Linda Ellerby. Remember that on Nickelodeon? Negin?
No.
You don't remember Nick News?
I wasn't
Remember it was
a
like-
huge Nick News person.
It was like at the
NPR
end of
only.
the day, it was like for teens, and it was like
I
they would
remember
sit
this,
around
yeah.
and that lady, I'm Linda Ellerby.
What kind of news are they? I wonder if their news is better than my news that I do on this show.
There's no news better than your news.
No,
No
news
news.
like good news.
There's no
okay.
news.
So what
like-
happened next?
So Chuck and Queen Thorpe getting it in. Now, I'm calling her Queen Thorpe,
yeah.
but her name is Reina,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what Reina in Spanish translates to
Rain.
in English? Queen.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait,
So
which
whoever
one is
came up with
Raina?
that name?
that's Russell Thorpe's daughter, Tika
Sumter.
Sumter.
Hold up. So you're telling me they
Yeah, yeah,
named
yeah.
her Queen this whole
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, her name is Queen.
Raina, that makes sense.
Oh, shout out to the writers. They got good naming over there.
Yeah,
That's
Ellerby.
kind
in
of
That writers'
cute.
room.
That's cute.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it. Now I'm okay with the Ellerby thing now. I'm like, all right, the credibility is in the ether.
So
Okay.
Serena trying to reach Ben. Ben ain't answering his phone, but that's because he's moving in with
Moving
Dan.
in with Dan.
And
Dan
Dan's
is
like,
pissed.
what?
I can't believe Rufus did this.
Yeah.
That is so fucked up. I'm literally dealing with this exact problem actually in my own personal life. But I'll tell you about it later
Yeah.
off the podcast. But
So-
what's he doing? What's he doing? Rufus? I don't know. I guess he got the white guilt popping.
Yeah, he got that. But this, I mean, this
using his
ain't what
white
you
guilt
do.
to help this white dude.
These are the richest people. This is the like they are so rich.
yeah.
Like Lily Vander Wilson is so rich, they can get this man some money to get him an apartment somewhere. He does not have to
like,
move
this
in
is
with
a
Dan.
clear boundaries issue. Like,
Yeah.
It's like even though I get when I get his like Rufus's place, but still like you should be a little considerate. This dude lives. Your son lives there. You don't
no.
care about him at all. Like how he would feel about this.
This is not okay. Not okay at all, Rufus. This is the worst decision that Rufus has made since marrying Lily. I can't believe that he's doing this. It does nothing but cause problems.
Yeah. So even if so, what do you think of Ben Negin? Do you think that's a good match with Serena, or you think she should stay away from that guy? Because everybody thinks he's a bad guy. I can't tell. Do you think he's a bad dude?
Yes.
It's weird. Okay.
You gotta give
I'm
the
not. I
SCON a
don't know
chance.
what happens. You know what happens after this. Are we just being set up to feel horrible later for supporting this
I don't
Ben
know.
guy?
No, I don't know what happens. I can't remember. I just know that the last episode, like that Damien guy, it was confusing me because he went to Eric and was like, yo, homie kind of checked me. But so I'm believing him because we did see that happen.
Yeah, we saw it happen.
But then I was like, it did seem like he had some kind of like, Damien has some other ulterior motive or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm still confused on whether this guy is good or not.
So
I don't know.
here's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. Let's because you just brought up something that's a little bit down. So let's just talk about two things. Blair's trying to do her job. She's trying to be helpful to Maybelline, but Maybelline is mad. She's angry. She needs a good
Blair thinks she
molly
needs
whopping.
that she need to get her back blown.
She need to get her
So,
back
I don't
blown
It's
out.
by
understand,
the
like-
way, can we just talk about that as the most what intern is like tracking the sexual frustrations of their bosses? You know what I mean?
She does have like a
have we
relationship
all
with her that's
had-
weird.
Have we all had internships here? Like I didn't.
No, I've
I
I
have
was
not.
never thinking about. Oh, my boss obviously needs to get laid. Like that was never in the. I mean,
it was
I just
definitely a
want
leap.
to say,
Like she didn't think of any other options.
there was no.
I feel like she
there
could have
was no
like maybe
step
she needs
one.
some
Then
sleep or,
right,
like a
no
pillow
step
or
two,
whatever.
step three. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe she could use like a massage. No, like she went from one to she needs to get laid like immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately. Oh, I see what's
And
going
not
on.
only that, I'm gonna have my ex-boyfriend do it.
Yeah.
the
Well, that
worst
came later.
you-
She was just trying to get Chuck to set her up with somebody. But this is
Uh-huh.
insane behavior all around. So this is what you just mentioned Damien going to Eric and making him think that they're good friends. And he tells him about the check-in.
Yeah.
And he tells the truth about the check-in. But I think what he's doing in this moment is, because, I mean, let's jump ahead. Let's spoil it a little bit for everybody's watched the episode already.
Yeah.
Or if you have, whatever. So at the end, Damien is like, he's like, oh, man, I'm out of here. Like,
yeah. He's like, I ain't your friend.
I ain't your friend no more. But I think what he set up in the beginning is like, even though I'm telling you the truth, I know that I cannot get rid of this guy unless I go through your family.
Right. So what was also interesting about it is like when Eric was hanging with, like, they really was finna go to the movies and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I like just don't understand. Like, Eric really ain't got no friends.
He's got no friends, which is like, come on, man.
This is wild.
Go get a job. That's where I met all my friends at. Listen, here's what you got to do, Eric.
Go get a job.
What you need to do is go get an internship
Yeah.
and then try to get your boss laid.
Yeah. That's how you make
That's
friends.
how you make friends.
But I was feeling bad for Eric in this one because I knew Damien Delgard was playing him. You could tell he's just a slimy guy.
Slimy guy.
That guy is slimy. But in this moment, I'm like, I gotta be on. In that moment, Carl, I was on Damien's side because I was like, I don't think this Ben dude is being all the way up front with everybody.
Oh no, I don't believe that either.
You know, so I was like, all right, well, let's get rid of him. Let's get him out of Dan's apartment because you know, he shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so then what happened after that? So then they go to then Dan and Ben have a little words with each other.
Well, not yet. So Dan don't want Ben there. He thinks Serena gonna be mad, but you know, he's there because Serena was okay with it, which is a real Serena thing. So Serena sucks. She sucks shit. Yeah. And she's showing how sucky she is right now. Right now she's showing it because this dude Ben is like, I don't want you. And Serena's like, all right, cool. But I'm gonna get you. But
that's what I'm saying though. To take devil's advocate, Ben wants Serena. He's lying. He's in the movie.
I didn't understand his motivation.
I think Ben is just like Serena. This is my theory. I don't have no evidence for this, a little bit, except for this episode. But I think Ben wanted Serena this whole time, even back in high school.
Okay.
I think he's always been in love with her.
Yeah.
But he's upset because obviously they put him in jail. And now he's got an opportunity to like
Which
be
I
with
can
her.
see that. I can see being upset about that.
Yeah, but he's not upset enough to not try to date Serena still. So I feel like he's playing it like, I'm not interested. Stay away from me. Like he's literally doing what Serena does all the time.
All the time.
So he's doing it on his way. He's like, leave me alone. I'm just an ex-con trying to get my life together. But meanwhile, I'm going to stay with Serena's ex-boyfriend, live with them. I'm going to keep hanging out. I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to do all this stuff. I think Ben is fully, I'm just saying Ben is just as accountable on this
100%.
as Serena because I think Serena likes him, but I think it's both mutual. I think they both on it like that.
Listen, even though Serena's an adult now, this is still not a good relationship as it stems back to her being in high school.
Yeah, they both playing into the same.
Yeah.
Like she brought that book. What was that? Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown. I don't know. I didn't see the book. Maybe it was Thomas Crown Affair.
Can I also say that Ben, for someone who was in prison for 3 years, he doesn't seem to have like that kind of self-awareness of the renewed sense of self that comes from having been in prison or whatever.
Yeah.
Like having had this wild experience where you really have to like reckon with yourself. He just feels so like frozen in time. And I guess and maybe that, you know what I mean? Like maybe it makes sense.
Exactly
It's
what you
like
mean.
you're in high school, you obsess over a girl, and then you go to prison, and then maybe you just think about that girl, and like nothing else really evolves for you.
Right.
And so then you come out of prison, you just kind of like fall back into that groove because you didn't advance in the same way in those 3 years that everyone else did. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can see him falling back into these familiar grooves.
Yeah, he's doing that. Also, we got to remember, Ben got the captain beat up in prison.
Yeah, he's a bad dude, I think. This is what I'm thinking.
But
But also, he got that dude. That's like, and that he didn't do anything. The captain, right? He just did that to fuck with their family.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that's why this episode is kind of hard to watch because I was like, I didn't know who to believe because I think the theme of the episode, like, I emotionally was agreeing with Serena because I'm like, everybody's judging this ex-con, which is like a thing I don't like to see on TV. Where I'm like, let him be. He's a good guy. He's reformed, but all the evidence of the show so far lets me think that this guy shouldn't be involved around these people. So I was like, I was kind of tormented the whole time. I also think that
because they gave him also like an oddly slimy vibe.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of written poorly. I think this character is just kind of flat, honestly. Because I'm like, he doesn't really have any layers like this guy.
Maybe just like maybe that's what it is. Because every time I was watching him, I was like trying to graft onto him some kind of a thing.
Yeah,
but
like I have no empathy for him. I don't feel anything.
I feel like very little. And then I was like, oh, is that because he's evil and manipulative? You know what I mean? Like maybe that's why. Or maybe they just didn't write him very well.
Yeah, it's probably that because he seems like a sweet guy,
Nah, you guys are both wrong. This dude is an asshole, and he needs to be out of these people's lives. Here, let me say this. So Negin, you have joined us on an episode where the C story is terrible. So we just finna blow through it, and that's Maybelline and Blair trying to get her hooked up.
I like this story.
You do?
No, nah.
I mean, it involves 650 gift bags, so I do think you have a point that it's not the best C story.
Well, yeah, we can talk about that. But let's just blow through that so we can talk about the meteor side of this whole episode. So it starts with Blair going and needing Chuck to. So Maybelline lost Florence and the Machine, the venue. That they was gonna have Florence and the Machine.
That's why I liked it because I like that group.
Because you like Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
You're just excited about Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the story.
I thought that was a cool inclusion. Obviously, it took me back to 2007 or whatever this was.
When she goes, Florence is here, but the machine's playing got held up.
It was a lot of little bits in this episode. It was a lot of little bits, and I was like, whoever wrote this episode is getting their yucks off. They invented the name Ellerby, and they getting their yucks off.
Oh, which by the way, can I tell you one quote that I wrote down?
Please.
It's from the storyline, the Reina storyline. They're in bed or whatever. He's like trying to have sex with her so that she'll buy the palace.
Yeah.
Which is really, again, what are these machinations? They don't make sense. And her phone keeps ringing. It's on vibrate. And he says, turn it off or bring it to bed. A vibration is a terrible thing to waste.
Oh, yeah. Yo, that line was insane. Yeah. I was like, what? But also, I got to give it up for Chuck or whoever the actor is because the way he fit those words in that time period. I was like, man, that was some good acting right there. I was like, how did he get that line in there? I would have been like, I would have fucked that line up a million times. They'd be like, okay, bring it in the bed because what was it again?
What was it?
What's the line again?
Line. This is the one I wrote down because this shit got on my nerves. So they're eating lunch.
Anya, do it. Sorry. I out there playing with Legos.
I'm pre-embarrassed for whatever this line is. Okay.
They're eating lunch, and it says, you have to try the shishito pepper. And she goes, absolutely not. My mouth is still on fire from the spicy tuna roll.
Oh, yeah.
Two things that are notoriously not spicy.
Insane. It's like they have never had sushi. First of all, they're like, this dude just got out of jail. He's like... Like, when were you eating shishito peppers? And also, that was just jalapeno.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was so bad. As a sushi fellow, I was like, it felt like they're just disrespecting the meal of sushi right now. They're like, oh my God, let's order in. Sushi? Oh, you got to try it. You never had shishito pepper before? We used to have them all the time in prison.
You have to try the shishito pepper. I can't. Absolutely not. My mouth is still on fire from the spicy tuna roll.
Their dynamic.
Also, it reminds me of a story I have to tell about Lamar.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't.
Where else we at?
Oh, we was at Soho House.
We was at Soho House, and Lamar ordered the biggest bowl of shishito peppers, and was like, "Y'all gonna help me eat these shishito peppers?" And both me and Drew was like, "No, we didn't want those damn shishito peppers."
I was like thinking everyone loves shishito peppers. So let me get a bowl of shishito peppers for the table. Now I gotta sit there and eat all the shishito peppers by myself.
And it was such a big bowl. You go to Soho House out there in New York, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, but it's just
They're
funny
known for the
that like
shishito.
it's not, it's not like a fun thing to like finish.
Shishito
whole
peppers?
bowl.
Yeah,
Like-
now they keep thinking because of that. Drew and Carl keep making fun of me like I really like this item. I don't even like it that much, but it's like, oh, Lamar,
know.
they got every
It's
time we go to a
not
restaurant, they're
something-
like, they
I
got
don't-
shishito peppers. You want on Lamar? And I'm like, I don't like that shit. I just wanted to get something to the table.
I don't sit around ever like being like, you know what I could go for? I could go for a bowl of shishito peppers.
I will
Damn,
say,
my
I did
mouth
go to
hungry.
Atlanta and I went to this
Oh.
restaurant. They had some real good shishito peppers, and I think that was the beginning of the spark. But I think it died off pretty quickly.
yeah.
I don't need it. But that was what they had was that was like the jalapeno they put on top of sushi, and he called it a shishito pepper, which was insane. I'm like, Ben, what are you doing?
Somebody had to have had an issue with that.
Yeah.
And director was like, whatever. Well,
Yeah,
never
it's
mind.
like, let's keep it. We got it. We're
gotta keep it
we're
going.
running out late on time.
Yeah, we're losing light.
Yeah.
This is a
We're losing
soundstage.
sushi light.
We're losing sushi light.
And then I hated that scene. God.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I was really on Dan's side of this. I'm like, get out of my house. I would have been so mad. So then Dan come in and he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt on y'all.
Here's the problem with me though. Here's the problem. So, and we keep jumping around.
Sorry,
I
that
don't
was my
remember
fault.
this.
No. It's absolutely not your fault. It's our fault. We do this every episode. The people love it. The people love
They
when we don't make
care.
any
They
sense.
not watching this shit.
Yeah,
Y'all not
ain't nobody watching
this
this damn show. We the only assholes that's still watching this stupid ass show. But so Dan is mad at the wrong thing.
Right. He's mad at what?
He's jealous. Right? He
Right,
knows
right,
that
yeah.
Serena still likes this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I got to chill out on this. It's like, no, man, you should be mad that this dude is in your house.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was the other scene where he was like, hey, the glasses go on top
Yeah.
and the plates go on bottom. And Ben is like, hey, my man, I'll beat your ass over these plates. I don't know who you think you talking to,
Yeah.
but I'll beat your ass.
Yeah, he looked like he was finna rough him up.
Yeah,
And
he
then,
if he didn't get that call from Serena, but then Dan started making it about Serena. Oh, you ain't talking to Serena no more. You need to stop talking to Serena.
yeah. And
and
he was
then
like, look,
he's like,
I can leave, bro, but don't give me. I was feeling bent on that part though. Cause I was like, don't be doing no weird passive. I hate passive aggressive shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Don't-
like, if you got a problem with me, just say it because we was in the yard. I'll poke you right now.
yeah,
I start.
I'll
poking
phone
you.
check you. I'll phone check you right now. Skit.
But also,
What if he just stabbed Dan in the kitchen? Just like, "Da." Now, yeah, put the plates up now.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
oh, that would have been amazing. No, I was gonna say the other thing that was frustrating about that particular scene was like, dude, what are you, like some 75-year-old man who has like a routine they need to follow? Like, you're 22 or whatever. Like, relax. Like, move the plates around. What are you even
Yeah, that
doing
was
living
whack.
there? Go get your own place.
It'd be better if it was like he left dishes in the sink, something normal. But it's like, how the fuck was he supposed to know the plates go on top?
Yeah,
like,
he
that's
washed
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
If he washed the dishes, that's good enough.
I know he's doing great.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just like a level of recalcitrance and that you see in retirement age people, like the stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I just was like, oh God, you're a bore. You're being a bore.
Yeah, nah,
So-
Dan's tripping. Okay.
Blair's trying to set up
Epperly.
Ellaby, and she
Yeah.
ends up setting her up with Nate, but Nate's not really feeling it. And so
Yeah.
now the heist has become Chuck. They both need each other's help.
Yeah,
Because what Chuck is trying to do is trick Queen Thorpe to falling in love with him.
Right.
So she has an emotional connection to him.
Yeah, and then lets him keep his business.
Yeah, and doesn't buy Bass Industries. And then Blair is trying to get what's her name to have sex.
But she was gonna ask Chuck first.
Yeah.
So he was gonna act, but then Chuck was like, "I can't do that. I'm trying to get with Queen."
Yeah.
So that was, and so then Nate came back, and he's like, "Ooh."
She
They both
put
look
her
like-
Epperly had the put her hand on what's his face's
So Epperly
shoulder.
was kind of feeling
Yeah.
Nate. A little
Yeah,
bit.
and Nate's shoulder in a way that suggested that she would bang that dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were matched, you know.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
that.
I
too.
would
was
also
surprised
bang
she
that
didn't-
dude for the
Blair
record.
didn't go to
Chase
Nate.
Crawford. That's your jam.
I mean, he's a jam that
What
I
do you think of
would,
Russell Thorpe?
you know what I
You
mean?
think Russell Thorpe look good?
in a pinch, you know what
In
I
a
mean?
pinch.
I'd work it out.
I got time. I don't have
I'm in a
no
pinch
time.
and
I'm in a
I
pinch
need-
today.
I'm in a
Where's
dick
Chase
pinch.
Crawford?
Chase Crawford, get over here. Okay, so Russell Thorpe. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Well, no. It's okay. So let's go back to Damien and Eric. So
Yeah.
Damien, Eric, and then they enlist Dan because
Mm-hmm.
Eric comes home. Serena goes over there looking for Eric, but Eric is gone with Damien.
Right.
And then Dan shows up and it's like, this dude's living in my house.
Yeah.
And she's like, it ain't none of your business what he doing. It's like, he's in my house. This is my business.
Oh, Serena. She was out of control.
She was out of control this whole episode.
That
So
was
then she
pissing me
leaves.
off.
As soon as
Yeah.
Eric walks in, she goes, I got to go, Eric.
Yeah.
Like, you supposed to come over here for me.
I know,
Yeah, but I got to
know.
go, but Ben. And so she leaves.
That's how selfish. She has no idea what's going on with her little brother.
No. And then
Crazy.
How old is the
Eric,
little brother in this point?
He's like
at this point, he's
26
a.
now.
I know.
I
He's,
was like,
he
I
looks.
don't know.
I think he at this point he is a senior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he's struggling. You know, it's like we got to remember this guy is struggling with mental health stuff. So like,
Yeah.
and the only person who really understood was Serena for a long time. But
Yeah.
she's not really there for him, which is, I understand why he's going to Damien. Damien's really good at manipulating young people, but it's like I feel really bad for Eric. And then when I saw that, it was very clear to me because then she was just like completely ignored Eric.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. She
Uh,
completely ignored him. Was like, I gotta
Serena's out
go.
of control.
Ben needs me.
Yeah, I gotta go be with Ben.
She sucks. So where are we at here? Russell Thorpe. Oh yeah. He takes so Eric takes Dan to see Damien. Damien's like,
Yeah.
the one person I trust less than this
Yeah.
dude. You think I'm finna trust? Hell no. I ain't getting in bed with y'all.
I was like, finally, Dan, you got some common sense.
Finally.
Finally,
it is
happened to
happening to
me.
me.
Right, it come. Yo, so they were playing that at the. I was on a strike line today. They were playing that out there. I was like, this is great.
That's
You can't play finally for a strike that's unresolved.
And
It ain't finally
it was
yet.
like finally, and then they're chanting over it. It was like, hey, ho, ho. But in the background, I was like, finally. I was like, man, these chants ain't matching up to the music. All right.
Have you done any picketing out there again?
There's so much picketing, and I just keep having to like run around the country doing gigs, so I haven't like actually sat down to walk over.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to sit down and stand
but
up.
I've been there's like something happening at 30. Like I'm gonna make it happen very soon. But yes, totally.
Is there a bunch of places to
Support
go
the
out there? Or is
strike.
it just the one studio?
Where do y'all go? Riverfront Studio?
Y'all
What's it
gotta-
called
There's
out
stuff
there?
that happens
30
at
Rock.
30 Rock, and there's stuff that happens at Silver Cup, and there's like,
Silver Cup.
you know, a friend of mine was just striking at a studio in something New Jersey area that I don't understand, and they actually shut down the strike. The protesting there was so strong that it actually did the line shut down the production.
Cool.
So yeah,
Shut it down.
there's
I wonder they had
a lot
that-
of
the
successes
place-
there.
So last time I was there, I was shooting the show called Everything's Trash,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, it was a fun show. It was
the
a fun show
wonderful
to shoot.
Phoebe Robinson, Jordan Carlos.
Yeah, shout out Phoebe
my
Robinson,
bud.
Jordan Carlos is dope as hell.
Oh,
We kicked it
he's-
all day.
He's
Uh,
one of my dudes.
Yeah, and we were shooting out in Brooklyn on the Gowanus River, I think, or something like that. I might be wrong about that, but it was at Cinelise. I wonder if they picketed outside of that place because that place was like small, and it's like crazy to. It would be crazy to see picketing there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it was
just
the way
like
it was shot.
just 2 steps front, 2
Yeah,
steps back.
yeah.
I think they're doing it just like major studios here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
major lots or
Wow.
whatever.
Yeah, the picket lines you see here at the smaller studios be looking sad as hell because
They
don't nobody
do.
want to go there. It'd be like 3 people. Me and
I know. He's walking around.
in front of Riley Studios. It was popping at Paramount, and Riley was like, "Man, we gotta be over here. It look popping over
Yeah.
there."
Come
I
on,
know.
guys.
Now
we need
it's
more
like
people at
getting to
Riley.
like it's like a little too fun for everybody sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely fun. We talk about the fun police every day. The people who are like, all right, y'all doing too much. But speaking of fun police, Russell Thorpe knows that Lil Queen is smashing Chuck.
Yo, this was tight to me because he's like, yo, I'd like their relationship. He's like, you think I don't know y'all hooking up? Like, he was basically like, He's basically like, my daughter tells me everything. Why
Yeah.
don't y'all go hang out? And I just like that relationship. I like that she told him that.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't doing it behind her dad's
She
back.
wasn't doing it behind his back.
Because that's serious. Like he's literally acquiring their business.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. They got a cool relationship. But he's trying to like basically convince him and her that this hotel is really something worth saving.
Yeah. And Chuck finds out about their meeting that they're having.
Yeah.
And he's doing this by way of, whining and dining her, taking her out.
Yeah.
And he was like, come out with me tonight. Come out with me. And she's like, I ain't coming out.
Yeah.
I got a meeting tonight. And he's like, nah, you gonna come out. And then she walked by and he's standing on the phone talking to Blair, but he's like, I really love this one. She's the one. She's this and that and that.
It was crazy.
And I just wanted to not buy the palace because it's like it means something to me or whatever.
Yeah.
So he kind of was telling the truth.
Yeah, and he is, but he's
But
just manipulating her.
Yeah, but it was also like in 12 hours, you just went from like completely having sex with this woman with no emotional attachment at all whatsoever to like, actually, I think I love her. Like what? And just like, it felt ridiculous.
That's what confused it. So, and then Blair was doing the flip side, and she's like trying to make this the one, like that one's a stretch for sure, Negin, like, but the other side was even more of a stretch. Like Blair's acting like she's talking to Epperly, like, I don't know what happened. Nate just wasn't feeling it. And then Nate's just like, all right, I'm sorry. I'll go smash Epperly now. I was like, okay. I was like, what? Like, it's like, all Blair had to do was just say, I need you to do this, Nate, for me. Like, they made it as a whole, like, emotional thing on the other side. But I get they're both working in tandem. It was, it's good to see Chuck and Blair back together.
Yeah, they're working
Scheming.
together. So, but Blair is having a hard time. So she finally
Yeah.
convinces Maybelline to come to the party.
Mm-hmm.
And Maybelline's like, I got too many phone calls. I can't do it. I'm drowning in phone calls. Blair convinces her to go to the party, and the phone's ringing off the hook. So
Yeah.
in my
Gift bag rings.
gift bag rings, the 650 gift bags, Nagin's favorite part of this episode. And so
What do you think was in that gift bag, Negin? What do you think? If you had a guess.
Oh man, it's like a lipstick color that like nobody wants or whatever, and like a couple of eye creams and some hand sanitizer.
and maybe I would
yeah.
say a sugar cookie with icing on it, so it looks good, but the icing is like super hard.
Yeah,
like
it's
marzipan.
Oh yes,
crushed
they
it.
love putting those in gift bags, and with it, it'll be like the logo of the event
Yeah,
emblazoned
yeah.
on the sugar cookie. Yes.
Yeah, and that shit is not good. You
Yeah.
can dip it
No,
in milk.
it
don't
tastes.
It,
It,
don't
never
taste
tastes good. But
Yeah,
it's
I don't
nice,
like those.
you take a photograph of it and then you
Yeah,
post
like
it
take a
on
picture
your
of it and that's
Instagram.
it. That's
Shit
the
tastes
cool
like
Which
thing.
sidewalk
they didn't
concrete.
have Instagram at that point, so what were
Crazy,
they even
right?
doing?
Actually, if I may, Instagram was out at this point. This is 2010.
Really?
Was it? Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was 2007. The show.
The show came out in
Yeah, but
2007.
now we're in
This season
season
4.
Oh, this is season 4, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
wait. Can I also just say though, like, if it's 2010, I guess. Oh, did I thought I saw Serena using a phone that had like buttons.
It did. They was wrong for that.
Okay.
They was tripping.
Okay.
For sure.
Because
Oh,
in
look at
2010 we didn't.
Instagram was launched
No.
October 6, 2010. So
it might be-
They might have just happened.
Might have just happened.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I remember
maybe
my-
it
I remember my first
hadn't
couple pictures.
seeped into the cultural awareness quite yet.
Yeah.
There was Instagram was like purely photography. I remember in the beginning it was just like I'm taking pictures of flowers.
Yeah.
My life, yeah.
Yeah.
What I
and it just
see,
turned
not
into
who I
chaos.
am, what I see.
Yeah.
My first picture,
Yeah, it flipped.
picture that I took, I was in the woods in Delo, Mississippi,
With those pants
with
on.
these pants on, hunting, and no, I took a picture of like the pine trees,
Yeah. Oh,
and like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, like that's what I took a picture of the first time, and I'm like, it's crazy that
It's
you know,
crazy how
13
different it
years
is.
later,
I know. Now it's just like
It's all
this is what
curated.
I'm doing.
this is what I'm doing. I'm flexing on y'all. So I said, Blair. So I said, as the phones go ring-a-ling,
Mm-hmm.
Blair is about to lose her job trying to get Maybelline some ding-a-ling. Come on,
So,
now. I should be Gossip Girl.
I think. Hey, where was Gossip Girl? She wasn't in this.
she
episode.
said something at this point.
Did she? I
Yeah.
didn't hear her talk that much. Okay.
I was too busy crafting my own to know what she said.
Oh yeah, your own Gossip Girl narration. So yeah, she. But Maybelline is I think she, it seems like she's overworked. Or
She's
something.
overworked.
And she's like, okay, they about to go party, but Blair not thinking about, she's thinking about herself, not thinking about her. So now the gift bags is out of control.
Yeah. So here we are. We get to the party, finally.
This episode sucks.
This episode sucks ass. Here we are. We get to the party. This is Negin's favorite part of the episode. The gift bag talk is still happening. We're at the party. Ben shows up with Serena. Damien and Eric and Dan come up with a stupid ass plan because Ben is like, Damien tries to like, oh my God, watch out.
That plan was
you see
so
me?
dumb.
And
So
you think Ben is not, Ben was a teacher before he went to jail.
Yeah.
You think he's stupid enough to beat your ass at the party?
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I thought I told you to stop coming around here. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And he's
You
like,
hit me, hit
all right,
me.
man, you know what? I'm out of here. So then they go, you know what, Eric, punch me in the face.
Yeah.
You think that's going to work?
That was so dumb. Even though I will say, Eric punched the hell out of that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Eric
I wanted to see that scene because I was like, his face was fucked up.
Yeah, it was the
Eric
whole
was just in
side.
the back, like, what was he doing? He just
So-
clocking him.
Tika Sumter, Queen Thorpe comes in
Uh-huh.
and she's like, I'm in love with you, basically. Like, show me around. You grew up in a hotel. I grew up in a hotel.
Yeah.
They bond over that. And then they go find where he used to hide in the kitchen at the hotel. And then Russell Thorpe, for some reason, is in the kitchen. And he's like, Chuck knew about the meeting.
Yeah.
Is this for real, Chuck?
Yeah.
I don't trust you anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that gets found out. His plans always don't work. None of these people's plans ever work.
They always come to head because they never. Everybody's door is always open.
Always.
Like, people always can get in everywhere they want to go. Like how Russell Thorpe get in there? I mean,
How Russell
I guess
Thorpe get in the
he could-
kitchen?
I guess he could pull up. He is Russell Thorpe. I'm trying to think who is that? Like,
How did he know they was in the kitchen?
Who do you think the Russell Thorpe? You think Russell Thorpe is? Who's like the modern version of Russell Thorpe?
He's
playing?
supposed to be
Eric
like
Davis?
who?
Eric Adams.
Eric Adams. Not Eric Davis. a football player.
But is
He's
he
an Eric
like
Adams
a
type.
real estate? Like he's like a developer?
Yeah, it
I
seems like
guess.
he's like a young billionaire.
Is he supposed to be like an
mogul.
Ian Schrager or something?
Ian Schrager.
Who's
Let me
that?
Google
Yeah, maybe.
person.
I don't know, like a hotelier developer or something, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like he's got like he's an interesting archetype. I can't put my finger on. He's like Damien, not Damien Johns, like the guy that created FUBU. He's like that
Oh,
guy.
yeah. That's kind of.
Yeah, he's like a shark. He's like a cool black dude who's like, like getting in, getting money.
Look what I just realized. Damien Delgard is the kid from Air Bud.
No way! Oh shit,
That's wild.
that's crazy.
Didn't realize that.
Damien Delgard is that dude, yo. I'm
right.
fucking with him.
Let's move on.
Let's
We
let's
got-
talk about the Airbud scene.
Yeah, let's talk about Let's talk about the movie Air Bud. Negan, do you have another? 3 hours? No. So where we at? Okay, Chuck gets found out. His plan always goes wrong. Okay, nobody come up with a good scheme on this show. We know that. So this happens where they call the parole officer because now they blaming Ben. The parole officer shows up to the party. Serena's like, I can't believe you called this parole officer.
Yeah.
And Dan is whack for calling the parole officer.
That's why they gonna put the man back in jail.
jail,
He could have
yeah.
thought of something else.
They
I
could-
wish if they got like all these plans were half-assed.
Yeah,
all of them.
everybody's plan was half-assed. Serena, of course, tried to go get him, but Ben don't even want to fight. Don't want to fight no more.
He's like, look, man, just take me to jail. I gotta get out of here.
He don't even want. He's just like, man, I gotta go.
I'd rather go to
Being
jail
in
than
jail
hang
is
out
better
with
than dealing with you
yeah,
assholes.
y'all
Yeah.
crazy ass motherfuckers.
And so he gets out the next day. They bail him out. Dan called the parole officer and was like, it's all fake.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna apologize to you. I don't know what to say. He's like, an apology's fine.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Serena's there, and Dan is like, yeah, I was wrong. I was jealous. Like, man,
Yeah.
Serena, like, Dan, get off Serena's nuts.
Yeah. Also, Serena's shoes was whack in that scene.
It's whack as hell. Whack ass shoes. Ben getting apologies from everybody.
Yeah.
Damien disses Eric, and then Raina comes back to Chuck with the help of Blair.
Yeah. So Blair was really nice of Blair.
Yeah.
Why did she do that? You think? You think Blair was feeling guilty for ruining, like she was being too selfish with Apeline, and she just wanted to help Chuck out? I feel like that was kind of unmotivated.
Well, I mean,
don't know
isn't
why
that
she did that.
Blair just always has a soft spot for Chuck? Like
Yeah,
she
but I
shows
just
her
found it.
humanity to like the worst person because they're both terrible.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe she's really moved on from Chuck. Cause I was surprised she was so willing to send a new person into Chuck's life that he could actually end up dating. But because they have a really crazy relationship. But maybe she didn't. Maybe she was just doing it to get the. Maybe she wasn't thinking about they might actually fall in love, but just like, oh, maybe he'll get to keep his hotel or whatever.
Yeah, because
I was surprised Blair
because
did
it was
that.
presented to her as I've been having sex with her so that she would do this thing, and then
Yeah, so-
Blair was like, "Oh, but that's not how you get women to do a thing. You have to make
Right,
her fall in
right.
love with you."
So she probably-
like to
yeah.
her, I think she didn't think it would result in love.
Yeah, because I'm feeling this right now. At the end, I think Queen Thorpe and Chuck are gonna vibe out.
Yeah.
I think that's they about to get it in.
So wait, yeah. Oh, so they have some ongoing.
Well, like the way she came back to him in that scene, right?
Chuck realized that he actually really did like
He's
her.
like, I know that I was kind of doing this to keep my hotel, and I feel him. He was basically saying like, look, I want my hotel. I don't care who I got to portray. But in
see-
that, I was realized that I think I really care about you. And
But
then
also, can I keep my hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that Chuck to get on the board? You know what I mean?
I think Queen Thorpe is trying to have her cake and eat it too. I think she wants her dad to get by the company because she support her dad.
Yeah.
And I think she's trying to basically soften it by getting Chuck on the board so that she doesn't hurt Chuck. I think she's trying to do both things. I think she's trying to do the right thing. But, I don't think both, like, she's not going to be able to do both. One of them is not going to work.
One of them's not going to work. Do you have any thoughts on this, Negin?
I mean, I have to say that I think that a relationship that's founded in scheming is not going to have very much longevity. Okay?
Yeah.
I just don't think.
But they both, I do think they were, I mean, we all, no relationship on the show is going to work. But, it just for the viewer, as with the suspension of disbelief, I do think there is a connection here when even though they were manipulating each other, when they both realized they had a lot in common. They kind
Right.
of grew up similarly. So I do think there's a potential for them to really like each other. Now, I think they're just in a compromised situation, just like the Ben and Serena. Both of them, there's no way it's going to work because their motivations are at odds. She's not going to go against her dad for Chuck. We know that. And then Chuck is never going to give up his hotel. So it's just like it's going to forever be a conflict for them. But I'm happy to see my girl Tika get it in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the boys. This episode ends with the boys getting Damien cut off by his dad because they went and told everything
That
they
was
did.
lame.
That was lame as hell, and I think that's just kind of how it ends too, which is
Yeah.
like I feel like that's how Damien's story ends on this show.
Probably. He ran his course though. We gotta get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out.
I'm
Damien.
like bored by that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
because he's
boring.
like he already ruined one of our characters who's like off the show now, from the girl Jenny, and then now he's ruining Eric's life.
Yeah.
It's like nobody in this show should trust this guy ever. Like there's enough.
He's in
to go
the
around.
Regina George pile.
Yeah, like you can't. They can't come back.
No. All right. What do you
yeah.
give this episode, Lamar?
I give it 2 XOXOs.
2
Because I
XOXO.
think it was trash on top of trash.
Yeah.
That hasn't been picked up because I forgot to bring it out to the front of the driveway, and we had to wait 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
We had to wait too. All right. So that's
XOXO.
XOXO. Low score. Negin,
It's 2 out of what is the maximum
5.
XOs?
5 XOXOs.
Right. I mean, Lamar, I have to agree with you, and I'm gonna up it. I'm gonna say it's 1 XO.
Oh wow!
Love
Yeah.
And
Love
I'm going to say that it's trash that has been left out during a French strike for they were striking because they didn't want to change their retirement age from like 61 to 64. And the entire city of Paris smelled like garbage. The garbage in this episode for
That's how
like
bad it was.
several weeks, and that's my score.
Okay, great.
So that's
XOXO.
XOXO.
Yep.
That's it.
Damn.
That's it.
Damn, that's a rough one. And
Yeah.
you feel like you want to say it at least one more time. But
I'm gonna give this episode 0.99 XOXO.
Oh my god.
And I'm
my
gonna say that
God.
it's New York trash in front of the Papaya King. And It's the trash workers have gone on strike, and so they're not picking up any trash. And it's nighttime, and it's summer, hot damn summer in the city.
Yes,
And
it's green, and the girls are pretty.
And it's on St. Mark's where we used to have that show.
Improv, and it's not gentrified.
This is non-gentrified trash. This is trash of color. So that's point.
Okay, that's
so that is
0.999. How the fuck we do that?
It's gonna be like this. This episode fucking sucked.
Okay.
Did you watch it, Shelly Shell?
I did watch it.
Your mic's not on.
Oh, it's not?
There it is. Now I can hear you.
Okay. I did watch it. I will give it 1.75 XOXO.
1.75.
Oh,
what you like
that's
the gift bags.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you like the gift bags.
You like the gift bags because it's got that nasty ass cookie in it.
Yeah.
All right.
They got hand sanitizer.
So that'd be XOXO. That's it. All right.
So
That's
now what we're gonna do is the news. Again, you ready?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say what's going on in the news, and you just tell me which character you think would do this, or
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll ask what you think they should do. Okay. So there's a volcano in Mexico that might blow up soon. It's terrifying. So my question is, who from our show would you send down there to go rescue everybody from the volcano explosion?
I guess like earnestly rescue everybody.
Yeah. Like if this was Dante's Peak, or
I guess I would send
like
Dan
Tommy Lee
and the
Jones
brother
volcano.
because they're like have a beating heart or whatever.
Yeah, I think Dan and Nate. Maybe Dan and Nate could go down. They seem to be working okay together.
Yeah.
They have a good like balance, but they might have trouble saving everyone. Maybe they can save a couple people. Who you think, Carl?
I'm gonna send Serena so she can fall in.
Oh yeah. So she doesn't make it back.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going down.
Yeah.
I'm going down there. I think Epperly too. She just
Epperly can go.
I
She'll
love that
answer all the
they
phone
called
calls.
out Eat, Pray, Love. She's like, so you about to eat, pray, love right now?
She did put on a huge event. I mean, she is skilled.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
forgot to say that she quit her job and let Blair take over for her.
Yeah, this was not a well-written episode.
No, not
but
at all.
I still think I like the setup. I like the setup of Blair being in charge now. So I want to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'd like to see where that goes.
Okay.
What's the next
All right,
news?
so Jimmy Butler, they said he was trying to shoot his shot at Young Miami at the playoffs the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I want to know who y'all think on our show should date Young Miami. Who should date Young Miami on our show?
I think the only man on this show that can handle Young Miami from the City Girls is Rufus.
You know Young Miami?
Oh my God,
From
I
City-
don't.
She's from the City Girls. She has
I know
a
who
podcast
she
called
is.
Carisha Please.
Yeah.
But she's like, she's amazing. She's gorgeous and fearless.
Yeah, she's
But,
quite fetching.
I think Rufus is good. I think that's a good one. And I think Dan needs to date her. I think Dan would, but I don't think Dan deserves her. But I think he would get a lot out of dating her.
I
'Cause he
don't
needs to
know.
get
I
get
feel
out-
like
get away
my
from Serena.
answer for anything that's kind of nice is Dan.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like I'm such a Dan apologist or whatever, like a Dan defender.
They
I'm
exist.
out
There's
here
a lot of Dan
just.
apologists out here.
But I would also pair him with her. With,
yeah. You
with
agree
Young
with
Miami.
me then. Yeah. I think they would be fun together. I think that would be. I'd watch that reality show.
Oh, absolutely. That would be so
Yeah.
fun.
And
She
then,
should be in the next season of You with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. She was in BMF, and apparently she cannot act at all, and the whole Twitter just went crazy on her. For her, she had like one small scene. It's so unfair. It's like literally like she has no acting training. They put her in the thing, and they gave her a scene where she finds out someone dies, and she's like, no. It's just like so bad, and then Twitter just
my God.
roasted her ass. It was really sad. I just felt bad for her.
Well,
All
why
right.
do they do that? If they just give them like an acting coach for a few days, they can like whip those 5 lines into shape, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
It's not that hard.
No.
It's not that hard. I'm on TV. It ain't that hard.
Yeah.
Watch. I hate doing anything hard.
I want to see what you got.
Negin.
That's the news.
That's the news, Negin. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you and what you got coming up?
Oh my gosh. You can find me on a fellow Headgum podcast called Fake the Nation. And Fake the Nation is basically a news and culture show where people with me and a couple of comedians break down the news and the world. And it's super fun. We have on people like Isaac Mizrahi was on recently, Margaret Cho, Samantha Bee, just like the myriad comics from the New York scene. Like it is a really fun show. And we have been doing Succession recaps also in the feed. So just subscribe to Fake the Nation and you will get all of the fun and all of the, just again, like luminaries of the comedy world, your Paula Poundstones, your W. Kamau Bells. They all turn up and it's so awesome.
There you have it. There
That
you have
sounds
it,
like
folks.
right up my alley. I'm gonna listen to that.
There you have it. Paula Poundstone.
Cool.
I used to watch Paula Poundstone on PBS when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Legend.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Negin.
What do you think of my news section as a fellow news reporter? You think that I'm representing with good integrity?
Well, I was like stressed out because I thought part of it that the second one was sports. Did it have a space?
Oh yeah,
in
so
sports?
it was sports adjacent because the guy is a basketball player. Yeah.
Right. So I immediately started sweating buckets because I was like, oh God, I don't know anything about sports. But otherwise, I was very impressed. I did not know about this volcano in Mexico, so I feel
I'll be on the news. I'll be
enlightened.
looking shit up. Dude.
Yeah,
check it out.
I felt it.
I'll go on your show. We'll talk about it.
Yes,
We'll talk about
absolutely.
the
We
volcano.
and also joining us on Fake the Nation, people like Carl Tart and Lamar Woods.
Hey.
Absolutely.
We're going to get it in. Thank you so much. That's it for this episode of XOXO Gossip Kings. Make sure you check out Fake the Nation. Make sure you check out this show. Follow us on Instagram. Talk to us. Tell us what you thought. Send us your personal stories. Is anybody in your neighborhood cheating on their spouse? We still want to know those
I know.
things.
Tell us. And tell me if you came to our show Friday because it'll make me feel better because I really was looking for y'all. I should have shouted y'all out on stage. I just forgot.
And then we would have seen how many people were there. How many gossip royalties were there.
Because we promoted it a lot
promoted
on this
it.
podcast.
We appreciate y'all. Drink athletic greens. And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
That was a Headgum podcast.